What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have episode 68 of the Vikings franchise series after falling short to the 49ers in the championship game. So today it is time for another offseason. With Madden coming in about a week, we will be expediting the process in which we get through this stuff. I would like to at least get one more game in. I would love it to be for a Super Bowl, just to see where things are at, but we will see where the franchise takes us in the next week and a half. Let's go ahead and go to the re-sign page and check out who is left for us to negotiate with. The only people left are people that are role players or younger players. You see Landon Riley, we have Kevin Allman. We've already decided earlier that Quincy Page just cannot come back. As much as I would like to, I just cannot afford to pay him $10 million over 2 years right now. Unfortunately, we are going to have to say goodbye to Connor McElroy. It's just going to eat up too much cap. 4 years, $35 million. That's not even a decent salary cap number for him. I would be selling it short. And let's just say I make it more attainable. All right, let's say 5 and 6 for 45 for somebody at his age and his caliber of play, and we're not even out $1 million left in cap. We just can't do it, unfortunately. So Connor McElroy will not be coming back. I would like to bring back Kevin Allman or Landon Riley, but I feel like we might have to pick one of the two. I think what we're going to do is we are going to bring back Landon Riley. I really like what he was doing for us when he was playing in replace of some of our injured guys like Jefferson or Hunter, throughout the season. I think he ended up finishing with like 5.5 sacks. So we're going to go ahead and offer him a 1-year, $2 million deal. And he accepts it. There we go. And I think we're just going to let it rock with that. I think we can find a better replacement in either free agency or via the draft for Kevin Allman. I just don't want to commit to him for 2 more years. He's already 24. He's only been a year in. So I would rather spend that money elsewhere. So yeah, we're going to have to go ahead and just let all of these guys go. Before we get into free agency, let's just take a look at our team right now as it stands and see where we can go from here. So if you look here, you can see that even though he had a pretty good season, Bullard did not go up at all in his development. He is still star. Glover stayed at star. So did Pitts. Nothing really has changed much at all on our offensive line in terms of upgrading the development traits. They've all stayed the same. The only two changes on this defense was a good one and a bad one. The good one, Devontae Coleman went up to X Factor. The bad one, however, Floyd Beckwith went down to star, which sort of makes sense. I mean, he didn't play a whole lot this year for him to keep his superstar development, so it makes sense to me why he got dropped, and I'm not going to argue with it. But everybody else seems to have stayed the same. Let's take a look and see who is available in the free agency. Vita Vea tops the list, the former Buccaneer. I can't believe that they let him go. Wow. A 93 overall kicker. That's something you don't see every day. Mike Gesicki is available. I hope to God he doesn't go back to the Dolphins, man. I'm sick and tired of that guy. Looks like the Texans are the favorite suitor for him. DeForest Buckner is in free agency. See, this is the part where it's starting to get interesting too. Of course, the year that it's starting to get interesting is the year that we're probably going to be ending the franchise, because look at all these top flight names in free agency. Darvian McKenzie. Oh, no way. That wouldn't have happened. Wow. I just gotta let it rock though. I said I was gonna let the computer do some of their own things to spice things up a bit. This is what the Eagles wanted to do. I don't know why, but this is what they wanted to do. Xavier Howard, Tyron Smith. I'm surprised he's still playing. Tyrann Mathieu, Ryan Ramczyk, Perry Brock. Who did he play for? Was that the Bengals, I believe? Backing up Joe Mixon. He's in free agency. Justin Gardner's in free agency. That was the Chiefs player, the free safety from the Chiefs last year. Will Henderson is in free agency. There are some really good names in this free agency class, and of course, we don't even have an option of signing most of them. I think it's safe to say we definitely don't need any quarterbacks. Roland Abbott hit free agency. That was I think he was also on the Eagles. Yeah. James Gonzalez of the Titans, Kellen Mond, Joey Owens, Jamie Edwards. We definitely don't need any running backs. Jerome Pruitt is in free agency. Jamal Henning. Man, a lot of players that I'm very surprised that are sitting in free agency. Lawrence Pemberton. I'm wondering how many of these guys are actually going to get picked up. There's so many running backs. I really hope that next year Madden fixes that, where things are more balanced. You know, maybe there's more retirements, something to keep things more lively, because there was such an influx of like certain positions that it just made it almost impossible for guys to stay on the roster, like at running back. You know, a lot of times at running back especially, guys will just fall off. They won't really even announce retirement. Nobody will sign them, and they just sort of wander off into the sunset. But in Madden, they just stick around and they stick around and stick around, and it just muddies up everything. Wide receivers are also stacked. Darby McKenzie, of course, the prime target. It looks like the Saints and Panthers are the front runners there. Eagles are in on it too, so maybe they just didn't agree on contract up front. Sergio Romero of the Bengals, he's also in free agency. Khalid Benford, Deontay Johnson, a lot of Ty Torrance? No way. If I needed a receiver, guys, I would sign him. But I'm going to refrain. Derek Bird, a lot of good names. And we don't need a tight end. We really don't need anything. Could maybe use a backup center. What some fun free agencies we've had, right? We had that one big one in the first season, or maybe the second season, and then it was just like no need for them after that. We hit on our draft picks. We had really good luck with some of our players that we brought in through trading. I'm hoping that changes next year, because next Madden is supposed to be awesome. You know, they're supposed to have all that that battling in free agency. Should make things a lot more interesting than they were this year, and I'm really, really hoping that they fix the contracts, because definitely need more competition in the contracts department. Let's go ahead and let's offer Martin Baptiste a contract as our backup right tackle. We could bring in a backup linebacker, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Calvin Holmes. Ooh, who is Calvin Holmes? We don't need him. Probably can't afford him anyway. Oh, we could, but no point in bringing him on. He's not going to start over Dion Lewis. And he's star dev, which would make it stupid to have him. Chester Gaddis. This is a guy that we could bring in just as a reserve player. What's his zone look like? 69 zone. Not bad. Not good either. But it's tough because you guys saw a couple of videos ago, the linebacker core in the draft class looks really bad. There wasn't many options. But we might have to go that route. Eric Jett. Let's see. Oh, 73 zone. 83 speed, though. I don't like that. I know it sounds picky, but I like to have linebackers with 85 plus speed. Lamont Mason. Let's see, where's his speed at? 82? No. Yeah, I think we might be going back to the draft board for a guy. Yeah, I think we're just going to leave it as is. Jeremy Chin. Wow, look at that. He's 29 now. Growing up so fast. Let's try to find a defensive tackle to bring in just to be backup. I think Lindsey Nance might be our best bet. He's young still, 25. Oh, look at that. Is that the same face that Quincy Page has? I think it is. Let's go ahead and just offer him a contract. There we go. So there's the two guys we're going to sign this entire offseason. Okay, so we got the two guys we were looking to sign, the right tackle Baptiste and the defensive tackle Nance. So those positions are filled. We're pretty much already done with free agency. We'll take a review of who signed elsewhere. All right, so Roland Abbott is going to the Seahawks. Not really any quarterbacks here worth mentioning. Roland Abbott was at one point a higher draft pick of the Eagles, but Hurts ended up working out, so they didn't use him, and now he's going to the Seahawks. But everybody else here, like Joey Owens, I think he was a backup on the Bills or something like that. Nothing really major here. Perry Brock went to the Lions. That's interesting. So we'll have to play him. That'll be his first crack at starting, I think. I don't know if Kareem Hunt is still there. I'll have to check on that. Zach Moss to the Washington football team. Jerome Pruitt to the Chargers. Our former running back, Kene Nwangu, going to the San Francisco 49ers. Amari Cooper went to the Texans. Darvian McKenzie ended up going to the Saints. Romero to the Patriots. Benford to the Bears to replace Ty Torrance, who went to the Browns. Marshall to the Texans. Oscar McCann to the Saints as well. The Saints building up a really strong wide receiver core. Mike Gesicki ended up going to the Texans, leaving the Dolphins and going to the Texans. Wow. Jonathan Foster to the Cardinals. Vita Vea ends up going to the Eagles. If they're running a 43 now, which I don't know why they would have signed him though. I'm pretty sure they already have a couple of guys there. Huh. Connor McElroy ends up going to the Washington football team as well. Carl Hopkins, I think he was already on the Texans, if I remember correctly. No, he was on the Falcons, I think. No, I'm pretty sure he was on the Texans already. Huh. A lot of mix-ups. A lot of changes. The Browns end up getting Justin Gardner. So as you guys know, we have a couple of first-round picks, and one of them ends up in the top 5. Again, we are picking 3rd overall. And I'm not really sure if Roten would even be an option for us, because for one, need, not really there. And 2, I don't know if he's going to be available because neither of these teams need a quarterback. So it looks like I'll be drafting for some teams once again this year. We also have pick 12, and then we have our own pick of pick 29. So we have a chance to really add a lot of talent to this team that really doesn't need much talent. So I'm not sure if that means that we'll be trading players away or cutting guys after the draft or what, because we really don't have that much room on the roster. Private workouts. All right, let's go ahead and let's select some players for private workouts. I don't even know who I want to target. We could actually go after an edge rusher, really, if you think about it, because Daniel Hunter is in his 30s. I think even Martin Jefferson is 29, 28. He's not exactly young anymore. And with us having such a high-end pick, we could really, I mean, there's a lot of them available. I'm almost wondering if we should, try and see more about them. Because honestly, like, there isn't any other positions that need our attention. Jaleel Winslow was a guy that they were all raving about. Maybe we'll choose him, see if we can get something more about him. Let's do that. Those are the 3. We're going to do Mello Jackson, and then we're going to do Monty Roten and Jaleel Winslow to see if there is a spot for us to take an edge rusher up here. I mean, we're up here, might as well take a look and see if we can find a gem, right? So let's confirm that. Let's see if we learned anything new. Ooh, okay. So yes, we got a big jump. Monty Roten now to a 90% completion. A power move, A tackle, D block shedding. Don't know what his finesse move is, but he is 6'3", 268, 21 years old. He didn't have an amazing combine, but it's not exactly a bad one either. He has elite acceleration and great speed, which is good, and great change of direction. And everything on the board seems to be really good except his block shedding. So we know he's probably not going to be more of a run type of player. We know he's going to be probably a power rusher or a finesse rusher, one of the two. And the curse is still here. We didn't learn anything new about Mello Jackson. How convenient. But we did about Jaleel Wilson. Okay, same sort of stats that are unlocked for him. He had about the same, well, he's a little bit slower than that of Roten. Almost identical core attributes, except injuries a little bit higher here. And I believe his stamina is a little bit lower. But everything else is A, B across the board. So that is pretty much it for the free agency stage of the offseason. And we, again, didn't really do much of anything because, well, the team is pretty much set. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get to the draft. All right, so draft time is here. The Jets, of course, on the clock. I'm going to go ahead and make a selection for them. So I think what we're going to end up doing here is we're going to take Monty Roten for the Jets with the first overall pick. They definitely do not need a quarterback. And the first available edge rusher should probably be the guy to go. So Monty Roten is the pick. All right, so they get a hidden dev power rusher. Looks like he's got some really good stats. 88 acceleration, 83 speed, 78 strength. That's really good. And now we are on the Rams. The Rams are another team that definitely do not need a quarterback, which puts us down to looking at maybe a receiver for them. They do have a few guys. Laviska Shenault from the Jaguars. They have Kenny Lewis, who is a more of a shorter slot receiver. And then they have Lewis Holly, who is a big bodied 6'5", like 220-pound wide receiver. But Shenault, 28. Kenny Lewis is 27. None of the guys are over the top at being, number one wideouts. Everybody's like a 75 to a 79. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we're going to take a wide receiver for them. And it's going to be between Chris Fleming and Alan Scott. It looks like Alan Scott has been getting some more boosts. Oh, wow. He's got 4.37 speed at standing at 6'4", was it? 6'3". Wow. That's a really fast receiver. The hope is that he ends up being that legitimate number one, and then the other guys are more complementary pieces. But, we'll see. You're at the top of the draft. You got to take the best talent available. And right now, Alan Scott for the Rams is that talent. Okay, so he is fast for his size, but he is only normal. And then it's on us. And I'm going to be honest, guys, I have no clue who I want to take. We have absolutely no need for any of these guys. The only thing I could think of is us taking maybe one of these guys here, Mello Jackson, Joseph Douglas, Keelan Odom. We could try for a left tackle, but I don't know enough about him. And I gotta be honest, I'm a little worried about the tackles in these drafts. All right, so I went ahead and I put together this trade package. This is a fair trade on both sides. So basically, I'm moving back 5 spots, and for doing so, I'm just going to pick up a mid-round pick this year and a 5th rounder next year. It's not that big of a move. The talent pool, I don't think, is that strong in this class from the looks of it. It looks like to be a lot of what's already strong in the franchise itself. So a lot of teams aren't really going to be needing to fly up the draft board to get who they need before they run out. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this trade with the Giants, fall back to 8th, pick up a couple of picks, and go back to the drawing board for pick number 8. And with that, we are going to go ahead and we are going to take a quarterback for the Giants. It comes down to, do we want to take Michael Flynn or Matthew Goldston? Just looking at them, I can't see much of a difference. There's not a difference between what's unlocked for them either. I can't get a good read on either one. They have similar combines, they have similar body builds, they have the same age. So because of that, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to take the top guy in Michael Flynn, assuming he is, the better prospect. So let's go ahead and let's draft Michael Flynn for the Giants. All right, so there it is, hidden dev quarterback, 80 speed, 86 acceleration, 90 throw power. And that brings us to the Packers, and I know what the Packers need. And there's one that's sitting at the top of this draft, and that is a wide receiver. They do have some good receivers, but their top 3 guys are all 29 years old. And only one of them is above an 85, I believe. And that's Michael Pittman. The other 2 are like 81 and 79. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that other top receiver here for the Packers, Chris Fleming. Yeah, I think he's the only option left here for a top 5. Yes, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take Chris Fleming. Of course, we picked the hidden dev receiver for the Packers and the normal one for the Rams. What kind of crap is this? Packers, well, as far as we know anyway, he's got hidden dev. He looks like he's got some pretty good attributes. 96 jumping, 91 speed, 91 acceleration, 21 years old, 6'3", 222 pounds. I've been weighing the options, and I don't know if I want to take... I feel like we have so many edge rushers that there's no point in me even drafting one. All right, I have decided. I think what we're going to do is I think we are going to take Martin Teal. I could maybe, use him as a potential replacement for Quentin Nelson. Yeah, I just don't see the point in taking an edge rusher right here. I don't see the point in taking a tackle right now. And I don't see the point in taking a receiver or a defensive tackle. There's just not much up here that we really need. There's not much we need, to be honest with you guys. So let's go up here. Wow, look at that landing. We're going to take Martin Teal here. Nothing flashy, but, it is what it is, and we'll see what we get. Okay, so we get hidden dev. That's good. 89 strength. Awesome there. Speed, 72. Acceleration, 79. Wish that change of direction was a little bit better, but usually those linemen aren't that good at it. So, okay, so now we are back on the board at pick 12, and some of these edge rushers are still on the board. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take Mello Jackson here. He was at one point the best edge rusher in the class, and he's, you know, it could be a position of need for us soon. I don't know how long Danielle Hunter's going to stay or how long we're going to keep him under contract. And who knows when we're going to get a chance to take one of the top guys. So let's go ahead and let's just take Mello Jackson here at the 12th overall pick. All right, so we get a hidden dev outside edge rusher. We'll probably, of course, move him down to the defensive end position in our system. But, you know, I know he's 23, but it is what it is. There isn't much else for us to do. And if I keep trading back, I'm just going to acquire so many picks. We already have too many the way it is. So, yeah, you know, now that we are sitting here at 29, this is more just picking whatever is available, whatever the best is available, because we don't have many holes left to fill. I would like to take a crack at maybe a safety. I see that John Madison is sitting here. He also shot up the draft board a little bit. You know, Curl is going to be coming up due on his contract soon, and that might be a good option for us to have guys at safety. And so we can have a really good competition. We had Raymond Monty from last year. He is normal dev, but he's a 74, I think 75. So maybe him and Madison, depending on what Madison's overall, can duke it out for that safety position. So let's go ahead and let's just take John Madison and let's see what we get. All right, so we get a normal dev safety. Dang it. 87 speed, 87 acceleration. All right, and now we are back on the clock again. The second pick in the second round. Nothing but receivers sitting up here. This is insane. I really hope that they fix this next year, like where the draft classes are changed a little bit. You know, it seems like every year it's the same thing. It's a whole group of receivers, it's a whole group of edge rushers, and then everything else is sort of just stuck. Like, we haven't had a good safety class really, like where there's a lot of options to choose from. I think this whole series, if I remember correctly. I know we need a middle linebacker, but I know Nick Ware isn't good. We found that out. He's a day 3 talent, so I am not going to be taking him. We really have nobody left that we can take that makes any sense to me. Okay, so I was looking through prospects, and I know we don't need a center, but this guy's got 3 A's all sitting here, and he is 21 years old. Braden Peoples. He's first in almost every category except 40-yard dash. And not anything but A's unlocked. I have to take this guy. We're going to take Braden Peoples. I don't know if I've seen this before. All A's. Wow. All right, he ends up being hidden dev. 79 acceleration, 89 strength, 62 speed. It is what it is. These guys are always going to be a little bit slower, but I can't wait to see what his overall is going to be. All right, we're back on the board here at the end of the second round. And now this is where it's going to get interesting in trying to find talent. I feel like I missed the mark on that safety. I have a feeling that I missed the mark and I shouldn't have taken him just because he was the top safety. And we finally get to one of the linebackers that actually is worth something, and that is D'Angelo Flowers. We can take him here at the 29th pick in the second round. He's a round 1 to 2 talent, which means he is right here prime for the picking for us. I think we got to go ahead and let's take him. Okay, another hidden dev. He's got 91 speed and 88 acceleration, 76 strength, 21 years old. I already like him. All right, so for those of you who are wondering why I'm not talking for 20 minutes straight through the draft, well, since we are trying to wrap this franchise up before we head on to Madden 23, I decided to just sim through the draft, make these videos a little bit shorter for you guys so they're not such a long process to watch, that I ended up picking just a few key players in the front part of the draft, and then I simulated the rest of it, and this is what we ended up getting away with. So I picked the first 4 picks. Yes, first 5 picks. First 5 picks, and then I simulated the rest. So let's see. We had Martin Teal with our first pick in the first round at 8 overall, 73 overall. So as you can see, he definitely needs some work, but he's got 93 strength coming out, which is good. He's got some pretty good speed and acceleration, and he will work his way into the rotation eventually once Quentin Nelson leaves. I also drafted Mello Jackson out of Wisconsin for... I also drafted Mello Jackson. Outside linebacker. He is going to be playing, you know, obviously the speed rusher role for us. I whiffed on this one really bad, guys. John Madison was not a good pick at all. I just got fooled by a good initial rating that I saw on his scouting report. He was the top safety, and he was just sitting there for us. And I took him, and it failed. He's a 65 normal. So, me not being good with safeties strikes again here in our franchise. Definitely rebounded with this pick though. Braden Peoples ended up being the best pick that we ended up walking away with overall wise. Plus, for being a center, he's actually a really good size where he can move around the line if need be. He's not 6 foot, he's 6'3", 315. He's not too light. So I had to pull the trigger on him, and we ended up getting away with a steal. D'Angelo Flowers was one of the middle linebackers that I scouted earlier on in the season. 72 overall coming out. He's got really good speed. He's got some decent zone coverage to start with. We'll have to work on that. He's got good hit power as well. So overall, pretty good pick for us there. And this is where I stopped picking. So honestly, I'm just as surprised at these picks as you guys are. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at them. So Nick Oliver, no point in even looking at him. He's a 62 overall. Josh Samuel, okay, right tackle, normal. But hey, 69 overall is not bad for, what round was this? The third, okay. Okay, it is what it is. And then we had Michael Mann at defensive tackle, 69 overall. Okay, here we go. 71 overall, Bruce Crowder, wide receiver, 6'4", 224 pounds. More of just a, you know, big body guy, not gonna kill you with speed at all. Isaiah Brown at defensive end, 68 overall. Madden doing Madden things and taking another defensive tackle. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. And then Eddie Bauer, tight end, 66 overall. Chances are probably won't make the roster, but that rounds out our draft picks. The best player in the draft ended up going to the Cardinals, well, tied for best anyway. Jaleel Wilson at defensive end. Tyrell Green to the Falcons. He was tied for best player. Channing Horton as well to the Colts. And Jonathan Goodwin to the Cowboys. And then, of course, the Packers get like one of the best players in the draft, and Chris Fleming at wide receiver. Perfect. And there we go. We are now in preseason. And what we'll probably do next video is we'll end up simming the whole season, reviewing the stats, seeing who played well, who didn't, make decisions for the team, and we'll do another off season. And I think that's what we're going to do here for every video here on out. Just do one full season, maybe even two, you know, depending how fast I can get through the off seasons. I can maybe do 2 years at a crack, and we could really just stretch this whole franchise out to see where these guys end up at the end of their career. So with that being said, that's all I got for you guys this time. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and be on the lookout for more videos coming your way. And leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of this draft. And also, if you guys could tell me why I suck at safeties so much, that would be appreciated. And I'll see you guys next time.